Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed DR, and this is Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 17. Alright, sorry for not having a video last week. I was having a few medical emergencies, as I've probably mentioned in other videos and various postings. I'm doing much better now. This week, the Ice Melda came out. My Ice Melda is only 4 stars. I did do a few more pulls after my video of drawing her. Mainly because I was at the borderline of getting the next tier of like amount of crystals you spend thing that gets you stuff. So I went ahead and just did that. Besides that, I replaced Angelina with Icemelda, and I replaced Ashamir with Zerida. Zerida does have her inscription talent, which allows her to be a lot more mobile and a lot easier to use now. Besides that, everything else is more or less the same. Right now, I'm working on Liana's inscriptions, trying to get her maxed out. She's pretty close. I think she has the last bit of armor and then the last 2 of accessory, and then she'll be completely maxed out. And then at that point, the only person that won't be maxed out in this box would be, I think Rose and Seal. I think she'll be the only one. Oh, I also replaced Florentia with Lycoris. Since Lycoris has a few... At this point, I don't really need Actagens as badly. And I need more ways to get passive healing going. That, and also to give me a character that can also flex a little bit, is also kind of needed. Anyway, I did have a match before this one. I did okay with it, but I did do a stupid move, which ended up costing my Isolde. And at that point, I had no tank, no Isolde, and just 2 healers and Silvaria, and that was not enough to deal with the 2 remaining tanks that I had to deal with. And, well, 2 tanks and a healer I had to deal with. I underestimated how much damage Lightbringer can do to Isolde, which... definitely surprised me. Anyway, as for our opponent here, it's a rush box. It does have Ice Melda in it. I don't know if this is just a ban bait or not, because some people don't want to use anyone that's less than 5 stars in their Apex box. I don't mind using mine at 4 stars because she's more going to be used for mobility and buffing Silvaria. So, besides that, yeah, it's a lot of characters I don't like dealing with. I do not like this guy. I don't remember his name, though. Anyway, we got Rose and Seal here. Banned first, no surprise there. I did ban their Isolde first. I've been getting in the habit of banning Isolde first, and hoping my opponent doesn't pick Andriel. So far, it's been working pretty well. Surprisingly, my opponent's been picking the Awakened one a lot more often. Since Awakened one is Time Faction and Ice Melda is Time Faction for some reason, I went ahead and got rid of her, got rid of Andriel. And I go ahead and grab Isolde. Okay, they take care of my Awakened one, take care of my Eshian. And we got Sword and Light and Shadow. Sword and Light and Shadow is still an issue. She can tank bust my tanks very easily still, and that's a problem. Alright, give me 1 moment. Sorry about that, I was going to look up the name. So I banned Sagani. I have a lot of issues with Sagani in World Arena because he can just literally reach you and then blast you with his AoE, and all of his AoEs do mobility down, which negate guard. So it's just really kind of a huge pain. Got rid of Asmodai because he's also a huge pain. And I don't have Rose and Seal's crystal stacks that fend off the unique debuffs he does. Also this week there are new equipments. I haven't seen any of the new equipment, but the accessory is actually it's pretty rough. It guarantees that the first debuff every round gets negated, and it heals the wearer, which is pretty impressive. It's definitely something I will like to get onto my tanks as soon as possible, as well as a few other characters. So I grabbed Ice Melda at this point. I was kind of torn on what I exactly wanted, but I noticed my opponent only had 1 tank. And I was like, alright. I mean, granted, the tank is one that can negate displacement. But I was like, alright, well, let's grab Ice Melda and we'll see what happens with this. I mean, at worst case scenario, I could try to do some icy frozen shenanigans when they rush me. They go ahead and get rid of my Nemea, got rid of my Sissy White, and they grab Grinshield, which we haven't seen in a while. So I get rid of Nemea, get rid of SP Leon, I grab Leona. There's a lot of these I hate. I hate dealing with whatever this guy's name is. And Lena, even though she's magic, she tends to be a problem as well. So it's just a lot of issues all around here. I really want to get rid of these extra mobility characters, but it's just there's too much to deal with. They get rid of my Lycoris, get rid of my Christiane. They grab their Lena. So at this point, I was like, all right, get rid of. Sorry, her name escapes me. Poliel and Julian. Sorry, names are escaping me as usual. All right. So I get rid of both of them. I grab Savaria. They get rid of my Zerda, get rid of my Lightbringer, and they go ahead and take a tank. So that's completely fine by me. I grab Freya as my tank. No complaints. Alright. So, they got the Awakened one with Poison Bat Mages. They do have Doom Oracle for single target, nothing too special. I'm usually pretty scared about them bringing a teleport, but they usually don't bring teleport too often. We got Lena here, standard kit, Ragnar Blade, Dragon Slave. Well, actually, not standard. Ragnar Blade, Dragon Slave, and then Death Break, which I'm pretty sure is not something you usually take. I guess it makes sense in this case because I don't have any assassins. So there's that, I guess. We got Hilda here, Cavalry, all of our exclusives, and our faction buff, and Royal Cavalry. We got Sword and Light and Shadow, brought AoEs, and then Steelman Werewolves. And then we've got Grinshield here with Air Slash and her exclusives, and War Falcons. Sovereign of the Ice Abyss, which is, I guess, her full name, but I'll call her Ice Melda. I brought her exclusives. Pretty much the key thing here is the Glacial Shackles here, which allows me to either pull someone towards her or pull herself towards someone. It works on both allies and enemies. And it allows her to move and act again after doing it. Then, of course, our 3C allows her to do some line-based AoEs, as well as can pull some allies around if necessary. It also puts out her special terrain, which can freeze and damage people. And then, of course, Icebound Vice is just a single target damage. Obviously, I won't be able to do... the pulling can be useful against the opponent, but they did bring Hilda, and Hilda's aura will negate displacement. Also, I brought Fairy Spirit Prophets as her troop choice, and pretty much every Ice Melda that you'll see will be a flyer and not the cavalry. We got Frey here, standard kit, all of our exclusives, and then Redeemers. Isolde, all of our exclusives were Star Prismas. Sylvaria, I did bring Disarm, and then her, of course, our 3C and Sneak with Deck Gunners. She is equipped with Crystal Stinger still. We got Leona here with Windbloom Chanters, and then Act Again, Heal, and Oda Creation. For the most part, this map is not too bad. I managed to get rid of pretty much all their additional mobility. So really the key thing here is just watching out for the Grinshield, throwing the shield. Lena does get extreme range once she gets angry, so she can be a bit dangerous. And then, of course, we got Sword and Light and Shadow, who can just teleport in to follow up with someone like Grinshield. So, and then, of course, Awakened one can do some swap shenanigans. So my opponent opens up with just going ahead, throwing out Spellbound on Sylvaria and Ice Melda. So for now, I'm just passing turns and seeing what my opponent does. It looks like my opponent's not being too aggressive here, staying in place for the most part. So I'm kind of just playing it safe here as well. I'm going to go ahead and cycle my Primordial Soul, get sustenance going. This is, this is mainly, of course, to cycle everything as quickly as possible. But the other reason is it gets her a little extra health, and while the shield is active, she is immune to debuffs, so that'll help her fend off Lena's incoming AoE. Besides that, I also, of course, went with Sustenance to speed up the cooldowns, and then it also gives her an extra heal to throw on everyone else if necessary. So yeah, my opponent's playing really defensive, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just shift forward then. So, Ice Melda's mobility is down to only like 3 thanks to the Spellbound, so I went ahead and just used this opportunity to go ahead and throw out some of the Chain Whips, which will increase pretty much everything by everything offensive related by 10%, and it stacks with all other buffs. So it's just another way for Sylvaria to get stronger and be better with her sniping. Also, while these effects are active, it can be used to drag those characters with her when she does her 3C if she needs to. Granted, if Sylvaria is in her transform state, it will not work because the drag is not actually a drag, it's a teleport. So just FYI. Alright, so she got angry. So at this point I went ahead and shifted forward. I am exactly 9 spaces away from Grinshield at this point, and of course Grinshield's going last, so she's just going to shift back. As expected. So for right now I'm like, okay, we'll just play by ear. I'll go ahead and use this opportunity to go ahead and put Ode of Creation on Sylvaria. So now she's buffed, and she's immune to all debuffs. So my opponent goes ahead and just goes for gold here with Dragon Slave. This hurts. Yeah, look at that damage. If I hadn't thrown the Ode of Creation, that probably would have been it. Yeah, it did tons of damage. Of course, puts out this debuff terrain that's really annoying to deal with. But beyond that, it wasn't too bad. The only thing that's annoying is trying to reposition. So one thing to note about Lena's position right now is she is right now 8 spaces away from Sylvaria. So if I were to shoot her right now, I probably wouldn't win the kill. I wouldn't get the kill. But I have some solutions for that. It's going to take some finagling because it's going to definitely make it so I don't have the cross formation. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and do Draconic Rejuvenance, which just does a percentage heal. It also does some buffs. Currently, Isolde does have debuff, buff negation and heal negation on herself, which is not a huge deal. So I shifted up here specifically so I can get free up this tile. So I can pull Sylvaria to here, and that'll put her at 9 range of Lena. Hilda did move up, and she does have crit negation active, but it's a mage, so I'm feeling like I could be okay with this. So, yeah. One thing, for those who didn't watch my video, the summoning video, Sovereign of the Ice Abyss has the, I think it's like fairy shoes or something like that, I can't remember what they're called, but they essentially allow her to move 2 steps after doing any sort of offensive action. So she moved 2 steps because of that, and then she got her move and act again, move 3 and act again afterwards. This just gives her a lot more mobility, allow me to keep the cross formation active, and at this point I go ahead and go straight for kill on this here. So she's not at full health, because I just... Yeah, more than enough. So, but no more Lena. And then she did have the 3C, so she from Liana, so she's passively healing everybody, and she healed herself with the Regenerate. And so my opponent goes ahead and just goes YOLO. Gets hit with Sylvaria's fixed damage. Gets hit with Freya's fixed damage, fixed damage, fixed damage. Yeah. First strike because of flyer versus non-flyer. Does okay damage. I do no damage back. And then fixed damage, and then I go ahead and just move up and finish things off with Sylvaria. Yeah, disarm against flyers, more than enough damage. And then my opponent just gives up, because at this point there's really not much they can do. Eventually the terrain will go away, which the terrain by itself isn't actually that bad, it's just the fact that it's a random debuff, and sometimes, and more often than not, it seems to be either heal negation or silence, which is just really annoying. But besides that, I mean, at that point I had kind of full control. And if my opponent would have no choice but to stay near the tank, else I would just eventually yank them away with Ice Melda. Since the chain does do damage, I believe it can be cooldown reduced using Liana's troops, which would also help out a lot. So yeah, pretty fun stuff. Got to show off the combination of Ice Melda with Sylvaria. Obviously, most people will see what Ice Melta would do is just rush in and then freeze everyone. But this was just another way to show that off. Alright. So, not much to say. I'm floating at the bare minimum here, and it's probably going to stay that way for now, which is fine by me. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed This is Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 17. I'll see you guys later.